All right, what we have here is human design. Why would we be talking about human design? Well, Consciousness Creates already understands this reason as to why we'd be talking about human design because they've been playing around with human design for about 8 years. They asked me to do this reading because they said that they have never heard somebody speak about human design the way I do. So they want to hear how I speak about it. So, Consciousness Creates already knows that this is a deconditioning process away from the crap that people expect from us during our life. Consciousness Creates already knows that if you follow your strategy and authority, then you're making the proper decisions for you. But I'm going to run over that just a little bit, anyways, because this is what's involved in this process. Um, So, Consciousness Creates. Why would we even be talking about human design? Well, we're born into this world, into a gender, into a society, possibly into, ooh, another manifester. Um, Born into maybe a religion. So, let's just use the basic one, gender. We're conditioned. Oh, you're a girl. You like pink. So, that's just like a basic conditioning factor that we're talking about. So, um, when we're born, we're raised with all of these conditioning factors. Going to school, our little bodies are forced to sit down so that we can learn. When we go to work, our bosses expect us to act a certain way. Our customers expect us to be a certain way, etc. So, like, even laws of life, TOS of life, have us acting a certain way. Maybe trauma changes us, etc. So, there's a variety of reasons as to why we could be deconditioned away from our true self. But what human design really helps us do, and it's the only system that I've ever found that allows you to understand your particular yes and no. Not my yes and no, not people's in chats yes and no, but how your specific energy works. So it's like getting a user manual just for you. A user manual for your energy and how you work. So one size does not fit all for energy. Everybody is different and unique. And although there is like a 1% ego manifested authority around, um, then there's nobody like this ego manifester. Um, so when we're talking about human design, it's really bringing in your uniqueness, your differentiation, who you are. So if you want to understand how you say your yes and no, like I said, this is the only system I've ever encountered in my psychic journeys on how you properly say your yes and no for your energy. So, what if we end up saying yes and no for our proper energies? What happens then? Um, I forget what I was saying because I heard Chuck Norrison's chat here. Um, so, if we're using our energy correctly, then we are allowing our purpose to flow through us. But if you're not using your energy correctly, then your purpose, um, well, you might see frustration instead of your purpose flow through you. Um, so let's say this again. If you follow your yes and no, then you will allow your purpose to flow through you. But if you do the opposite, or if you try to force your energy about what you think you should be doing, then you will see anger appear. So, um, we are going to be talking about two different things today. We're going to separate this experience. Part one, how do you consciousness creates, say your yes and no specifically? And then we're going to talk about some brain candy after that because honestly, the only thing that you really need to know about human design is how to say your yes and no. But everybody wants to know some brain candy, so that's why there is a part two as well. So let's go over how you say your yes and no consciousness creates. So, strategy and authority. This means yes and no. This means choice mechanism. So it doesn't matter who we're talking to, if it's consciousness creates, if it's me, if it's anybody else watching this, your strategy and authority is how your body makes decisions. Your yes and no. What is your energy doing? All right. So, um, one of the things that we do need to say before we even start this experience is that you are a manifestor. Um, you know, you are a person who has studied the human design system a bit, but I do want to bring this back down to the generic experience of what this means, the type. So, over in the astrology community, there's titles like Capricorn and Gemini. And, to a trained astrologer, those words mean a lot of things. But to someone like me who's not trained in astrology, I'm like, what's Capricorn? I know that's my month I'm born, but what does it mean? So, that's the kind of same thing here over in the human design realm, is that your type, you are a manifester. For a person who's untrained in the human design realm, it's not really supposed to mean anything, but to the person who does have that trained eye, being a manifester, there's a lot of things that I could say about it, but we're not here to educate about what a manifester is. We're here to teach you how to say your yes and no, because your DNA understands what a manifester is. So that's all we needed to talk about in that particular situation. You're a manifester. So if somebody ever comes up in a human design realm and says, yo, what are you? Well, I'm a manifester. I'm actually an ego manifester. I'm rare, yo. I'm one of the most rare things out there. All right, now we're going to work with how you say your yes and no. We're moving into part 1, so we are jumping in. So your strategy and authority, it's a 2-part mechanism, how you go about life. So let us talk about what to inform means, and then we'll talk about what inner authority means. It's a 2-part process. They have to be talked about separately to be understood, and then we can bring them together so it can be synthesized to you. So part 1, how do you say your yes and no? Consciousness creates. Well, you are a manifester, so you are here to inform. Well, let's just talk about that a little. You are a person who creates ripples and waves in life just by being. So, so that people can kind of see you coming or help you or get the F out of the way, be allies or get out of the way. You need to inform. And what do I even mean by that? So let's just say that you're a pirate at dock and you're going to set sail. Well, as this says here, your strategy should be that you should inform people that you're about to leave dock. So that is what you should be doing. Guys, I'm leaving dock. I'm setting sail. And that's all you need to tell people. You don't need to tell them where you're going, how you're getting there, how you're leaving, where your destination, and how long it's going to take. No, all you got to say, yo, I'm leaving. So now let's just say that you are your pirate and you decide to leave without informing people. Well, there's more than just you at dock. And your ship is so big that when you leave dock, you leave ripples and waves in the water. And the ship beside you had their fine china out because they're celebrating. So, what you could have done was inform them that you were leaving, but you didn't. So their fine china is now on the floor smashed because you didn't inform them. Your actions cause ripples and waves, and that's really the best example that I have to show you about what it is, how your actions have, they do have this ripple effect. So, so you're a person that is here to inform about what you're going to do. So, there's going to be a second part to this. What are you going to inform people about? We'll talk about that. Well, let's just say that you own a puppers and you were the person who is dubbed the person who's going to take the puppers out. Well, one day you decided to get fed up and you said, F this, I'm not going to take the dog out anymore. But you didn't inform anybody that that was your decision. Well, Poppers is probably going to end up pooping on the floor because you didn't inform anybody of your new decision. So, yeah, you are here to inform people about what you're about to do. Now, you're not just going to run around telling every willy-nilly person about what you're here to do. No. The people involved in the situation is who you're going to inform. So let's just say that you're going to school. So let's just say your partner, your monetary providers, and if you have children, maybe those are the only people that really should be informed that you're going to be going to school. Maybe some friends because you love them. You don't tell them what you don't have to tell them what you're going to go to school for, how long it's going to take, how much it's going to cost. So it's talking about the network that would be involved in the experience in which that you'd need to be informing. So, like, I don't know, let's just say that you are in a group. Let's just say that you're going to leave. You don't have to stop the whole group that of 1,000 people and be like, yo, everybody, I'm about to leave. It's not necessarily like that. You can take your leave without having to tell everybody, who are you with in that 1,000 people? That's the people that you need to tell that you're going to leave. So really it's about the informing of the people who matter in the particular situation in which you are in. Those are the people that you're going to inform. So they are going to either help you or get out of the way. They're going to be an ally or they're just going to, no. Now it's interesting. No, I'm getting into brain candy. We'll leave that later. So that is actually part 1 of how you go about your life on making decisions. You tell people what you've decided that you're going to do. So that's part 1. Now part 2 is your inner authority, which is ego manifested. Well, my love, you are here to... Okay. This is going to take a minute to explain. So, being an ego manifested manifester, you have this connection from your heart center going to your throat. So this is going through the G center up to your throat. Now, which is also a little bit unfortunate because you're not quite aware of it because all of those channel connections are mostly on the subconscious side. So regarding your experience here, ego manifested manifester, because your heart is attached to the throat, you're here to hear yourself talk. So you need a confidant in your lifetime that isn't here to judge. They're not here to tell you to stop doing it. They're here just to listen. So you need a confidant that it's not like a soundboard where they talk back to you. No, it's you hearing yourself talk. You talk at this person. I am going to go and buy a $500 pair of shoes. And then you hear that and you're like, actually, I'm not going to. It doesn't sound like something that I want to do. And then maybe you're like, I will go and dig a hole in the backyard so that I can plant flowers. I don't know. So some of the things that you will say, no, the things that you say is what you should be hearing and listening to yourself say and doing. And when you have words like, I will, come out of your mouth, I bet you will. So consciousness creates those words like, I will, I won't. Those are things that are very, very, very important to you. You need to listen to those I wills, I won'ts, I can, I can't, or just other words that are these very willful expressions. What are you saying? Are you saying I should? Because when you say I should, and that's kind of like an attachment to the outcome, right? But when you say I will, I bet you definitely do. So your heart is connected through the G center to your throat. So you do have this willful connection through your G center to the throat. So it's look at your G center. You have so many connections in your G center. You have all of them but 3. So you are an ego an ego manifested manifester that has this connection to this role in life, this direction in life, this identity in life through your voice. So you're going to get a lot of ideas about who you are through hearing that direction. Now, there was a question in chat that is very, very awesome. Now, they asked, do they have the same bodily function as that gut sound as uh-huh and uh-uh as like 70% of the population? No, you don't. So when someone says trust that gut instinct, my babes, you don't have that. You don't have that connection to that gut. You don't have that consistent access to that gut. If you actually look at your sacral center, where that uh-huh and uh-uh comes out, you actually have zero energy attached to that at all. No gates at all. So you can experience it, all the aspects of what this center is. Now, the question was, do they have the same uh-huh or uh-uh as us? No. We were just talking about how your inner authority, your strategy is you tell people what you're about to do in the way that you do. That is by listening to what you sound like when you speak. And how do you hear yourself speak? What does it sound like? Do you want to do it? Do you not want to do it? It sounds kind of selfish, but I mean, ego manifested manifestors are here to be of the ego, to be of willfulness, to be of control, to be of material realm. It is what it is. It could sound selfish, so it's not in the same way an individual is selfish. No, like an individual energy. You have this tribal energy to you, but it's just because it's ego manifested. It's like, it's not necessarily what do I get out of it, because that's a different type of authority. It's more of a, what do I sound like when I'm talking? Does it sound good or bad? That is how I listen to my energy. You don't have that gut to rely on. So if anybody ever says, oh, try to rely on your gut, I'm just going to tell you, you don't have it. You don't have that consistent access to that. So, ego manifested manifester, you're going to hear yourself talk. So you're just going to literally hear yourself talk, and those are the things that you're going to tell the people around you that you're going to do. That is how you say your yes and no. That is how you go about in life. You listen to yourself talk out loud. So it's very important that you have that confidant that won't tell you that they disapprove or they're going to try to dissuade you to go somewhere else. What you need is someone to listen, so that when you do talk, they're not going to change your voice. Now, I believe that this is all I need to say about how you say your yes and no. I have so much to say about being a manifestor that I really want to head over into the brain candy of everything. So I just want to run over one more time. You talked about the things that you want to maybe do in life or not. You hear yourself talk, and then you are going to tell the network of people in which that pertains to. So the people that you need to inform are only the network in which it affects. Yeah, that's it. That is how you go about in life. That is you, and you're so unique in the way you do that it's so rare for me to even say that. I actually had to look up and refresh my memory on what an ego manifested manifestor was before we started this. Okay, so now we're going into part 2 of this experience. Brain candy. We're going to be running over all of those words going down the screen on the left there. We're going to be going into your chart a little. And then we're also going to be talking about 70% of what you put out into the world. All right, so you are a split definition. What that means is that you will most likely feel the conditioning in your the split area instead of in the centers. So what that means, if we're going to bring it back down to like big inner terms, is that your split definition, your pressure in life is going to be right here. And your split definition is actually a large definition that is split. So it's not just one gate, it's a full channel. And that does affect how you see life. Whose fault is it? Is it my fault? Is it your fault? Is it the world's fault? That's actually like when things go wrong. It wasn't my fault. It was your fault. um, and unfortunately, when you get in a relationship and somebody colors in these channels, and when they leave, or when the planetary alignment comes in and they leave for like when the planetary alignments comes in for a long time, you're in a relationship, or and like they connect this here, it's more like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I fulfill that? So don't let that get the best of you. Use your strategy and authority to move through what you should feel like should happen in life. Talk about it with your confidant, and then inform people what you are going to be doing. So if you want to check to see where your split definition is in the conditioning in life, I know you know how to research human design, so you can go and Google channel the channel 62 to 17, which is a channel of acceptance. You can see what that might feel like pressure, and you can try to Google the channel of structuring, and then you can try to Google the channel of curiosity to see what the most pressure in life for you is. So yeah, you can Google that. It's not a part of this experience, but I know that you'd want to talk about that or know that. So um now let's still run down the list on the side here. We were talking about your strategy and authority, and how this is how you say your yes and no in life, how you go about making decisions that are correct for you. What is your energy doing? Do you have enough energy for that? What does it sound like to you? And then are you going to inform people? Now, if you are making correct decisions for yourself, listening to yourself and following what you sound like, then you are going to allow your purpose to flow through you when you're informing people correctly. Now, if you decide to force your energy based on what you think you should be doing with your energy, or you're just like running around not informing people, acting like a generator, then you are going to allow frustration, or sorry, you're going to allow anger into your life because you're not following your purpose. So let's say that another way. If you follow your strategy and authority, let's say your body said do it, and you do it, you're allowing your purpose to flow through you. If your body said don't do it, and you don't do it, then you're allowing your purpose to flow through you. If you're still uncertain as to what you should be doing and you don't do that thing, then you're still allowing your purpose to flow through you. Now, let's just say your body said do it, and you're like, I'm actually scared, I can't do it. I'm a little bit fearful. I can't do it. So, you're doing the opposite of your energy. So that's called the not self. When you force your energy, the not self, doing the opposite of what your energy tells you to do. So if you're doing the opposite of what your energy, if you're not following your strategy and authority, then you're going to see anger in your life. There will be anger. So I'm going to say that one more time. If you listen to your energy, your purpose flows through you. If you do the opposite, you're going to be angry at life. That is quite the contrast, for sure. Now, we're going to talk about your incarnation cross just for a moment. I'm not going to talk about it at all. Now, I did notice that all of these defined gates in your G center, and actually that is your incarnation cross. It comes from your G center, which is beautiful that your authority is connected to your incarnation cross. You would resonate with it more. But anyhow, I'm not talking about an incarnation cross today. This is your purpose in life. Now, if anybody's watching, it doesn't matter if it's consciousness creates. It doesn't matter if it's your viewer, your rerunner, your incarnation cross is your purpose. So your incarnation cross in life is right angle cross of the vessel of love, 4625 1510. Now, consciousness creates, I'm sure you've Googled it, but if you want to Google it, you need to make sure you keep in the right angle and the numbers at the end. This incarnation cross reading is a 2.5 hour reading itself. So we're just mentioning that your purpose does exist, and you can Google it if you want. And speaking to everybody else who's watching, if it says left angle or juxtaposition, make sure you keep that in there. Google the whole like incarnation cross, right angle cross of, or the left angle cross of, or the juxtaposition of, and make sure you include the numbers. So this actually leads me to my first point of talking about profile and incarnation cross. Now, we in life are so far away from who we actually are in life that we usually don't resonate with our profile or our incarnation cross. I didn't resonate with who I truly was until recently. So my profile and my incarnation cross, I didn't resonate with them, but you're welcome to Google them. Like I said, you may not resonate with them. Why? It's because once you start allowing your energy to do what it's meant to do, then your profile and your purpose are naturally just going to emerge. So we won't be seeing your profile or your incarnation cross until you start making correct decisions for you. So we need to just decondition away all the crap. So what is a profile? A profile is your behavioral costume in life. So this is how you see yourself and how people may see you. So remember, you may not see yourself this way, but you are a hermit who is about the network. And you're like, oh my God, I'm a hermit. He depends on my network. That's like opposing, but it's actually very balancing for you. So although you are a manifestor, you are a person who is here to be a hermit. You have a call. You are here to be the master of something, the master of what you talk about and what you sound, what you hear sounds good for you, and then you're going to inform people. But you are here to be the master of something. You're here to be the hermit. It's like you are the person inside the house with the lights on. You have no blinds on, and everybody's outside looking in at you at nighttime with the lights on. You don't know they're outside looking at you, but people are watching you. They see that you're the master, and they're going to call you out on it. They're going to call you out on your mastery. But it's really important that you choose the proper callings for you, because spending energy on callings that aren't correct for you, it's just gonna lead you into a lot of anger. So you're a person who's here to live a harmonious life, be out of the drama, be detached from it. But then at the same time, you're a person who's about the network. You are about the opportunity. You are about having one thing lined up, and then once that's done, having the next thing lined up, whether it's the next job, and I know this sounds bad, but the next partner. But usually when opportunities have fulfilled themselves, then that's it. You're done with the opportunity, and now the opportunity is out of your life. And sometimes people may feel offense over that people are coming and going out of your life so quickly. But listen, that's you. You have a network of people. You have the few that matter, and then you have like a network of people. I have the network too in my my energy, so I understand this greatly. And as a person who's a networker, people are allowed in your network, and if they burn you, there's no chance you're getting back in this network. Fuck you. So once you get burned as this 2-4, you're not allowed back in the network. Screw you. You've burned me. I let you have your chance. But yeah, people may be offended that people are coming in and out of your life so quickly, and even the people themselves. But you know what? The opportunity's finished, and don't let yourself feel bad about that, about holding on to things, people, places, or experiences longer than you should, because they're the ones who feel bad about it. Follow your strategy and authority to see if holding on to this person is what's correct for you, this person, place, thing, or experience, this network. So you are here to, have your blinders on to life and be harmonious, and then whatever your mastery is, your network is going to call you out on it, or your network is going to be how your Your manifested ego is going to be brought out into the world. You know, your hermit self is going to be brought out into the world as through your network. So your network is actually very important to you. It balances you out. Who is going to hear you when your mastery is to be called out if you don't have a network to hear you? So this is who you are. This is your behavioral costume in life. Now I want to talk about this word anger, especially in this hippy dippy realm, the psychic realm. Namaste, peace, love, and light. People try to condition the bad stuff out of you. I know people, when they wish that, they're wishing well wishes on you, but then it kind of makes us feel like we're not allowed to have those negative energies within our body. But the not self theme of anger, oh geez, is it ever a key indicator to you? Consciousness creates that something needs to change in your life. Anger is a key indicator of something needing to change. Now, you are allowed to be angry. You don't have to shove it down and make it go away. You know, allow yourself to be angry, allow to understand why you're angry, and then allow it to move through you. Don't entertain it for like 2 months. But like, you're allowed to be angry. Why are you angry? Talk it out. See what has to happen next. What sounds good to you, and then inform people that that's what you're going to do. So anger is a key indicator for you. Feel the anger. Why are you angry? Don't shove it away, love. I think that anger is going to lead you to a whole new up level in your life. Where are you angry in life? What can be changed? So that's usually where I tell people, if they're looking for something to change or do in their life regarding a human design experience, look at where you're angry in life. All right, we are going to pop over into the chart now. Now, you do have a fixed way of being you have a fixed way of understanding what's inspirational to you, and you have a fixed way of conceptualizing that into words or life. You have a fixed way of expressing your ego, your willfulness, and your role in life, and your identity in life. Now, if you are acting your not self, so if you're hearing yourself talk and you're doing the opposite of what you feel is correct for you, then this is where we might see some conundrum. But actually, we said that we're going to feel most of it here. I'm still going to explain the not self of these centers anyways, but remember that this is where you're going to feel the most pressure in these channels here. Okay, let's talk about it. If you're in your not self, then you might be avoiding confrontation and truth, or you might be telling too many truths, or confronting too many people, you know, being all up in people's faces when it's not correct. So you need to talk it out as to when the proper time is to confront truth and whatnot. So I am a person who avoids confrontation and truth because I don't want to go to woman type showers, baby showers, wedding showers. When are you getting married? When are you going to have a baby? I honestly feel like putting up my middle finger and telling them all F off, because it doesn't matter. It's not their body. It's not their life. What if I never get married? I am also never going to have children from my own ovaries, so get over it. So I literally drop off gifts and I run away to those kind of showers because I don't want to be mean to the people who are just trying to be calm and cute and like asking questions of, you know, what actually pertains to the situation. But I don't want to talk about it. It makes me uncomfortable. Thank you, though. You may be a person who may not know when enough's enough. Now, these are completely open, these two centers. So you might feel the variety of all of these centers. So you might be forcing your truth, or you might be hiding your truth. This is where people wear masks in life. You can't hurt me. You don't know the true me. You can't hurt me if you don't know the real me. I'm going to put a mask on. But this is where people run around like chickens with their head cut off because they don't know when enough's enough. If you're in your not self. And then we're going to be talking about this particular center here. This is like the spleen, where you know what's healthy for you or not. So that's people, places, things, or experiences. So you might be running around spending your energy that you don't have, avoiding the confrontation and truth because you don't want to let go of something that's unhealthy for you. This person, you just don't want to confront the fact that they're unhealthy, and that you don't want to confront it. So you're going to hold on to that person, place, thing, or experience a little bit longer than you should, which is not nice. So you should be talking out what you should be holding on to or not. So this is what's healthy for you or not. This is also could be where you purposely get rid of things that are healthy for you. So support groups or friends or experiences that are healthy for you, because you're like, yo, I got this. I don't need things that are healthy for me. I can do this by myself. So, those are just different not self-expressions of this particular center. And I actually saved this one for last because this is your root center. You notice that there's a lot of definition around your root center. I'm going to say that it's important for you to move. I'm not saying go to the gym. This is getting into the PHS version of things, but it's important for you to move so that you can get this fuel moving in your body. However you talk about what sounds good for how you should be moving right then. Like I enjoy moving things around the house and like organizing and shuffling and decluttering. I enjoy cleaning here and there. I enjoy playing boxing VR. I enjoy Zumba. Those are the things that I enjoy doing. I'm not telling you to go to the gym. I'm not telling you to go run. I'm saying do what your body verbally says feels good for you if you feel like moving. So, talking about moving, the not self-expression of this is, running around like a chicken with its head cut off, just trying to get things done. Just to get them done, just to realize that there's more to your to-do list. So that's the not self, just hurrying up to slow down, just to realize that there's more to do. And so people may call you lazy, people may call you a procrastinator. I'm not calling you lazy or a procrastinator. I'm calling you a person who knows exactly when the proper timing is for what you need to do. There ain't anybody who's going to move you, because look at how much definition that you have around this root center. You know what needs to be done. You know when it needs to be done. And what I call this is that when outsiders look in saying lazy and procrastination, me as a professional, what I see it as is you are gaining the proper energy and the proper timing and adrenaline to understand when the correct time is for you to do the thing. And then I bet it's going to be done like that. So it's either going to get done or not. And your energy. I bet people can't move you. And if you are, you're being moved in a not self way. Running around, using your energy the way you think you should be using it. So, I love the fact that you have the gate of extremes. The gate of extremes is right here. I also call it the gate of chaos. I have the other one on the other end. My fiance has this on this end. And actually, when people are in relationships with someone who has this on the other end, it actually can be a very difficult relationship, because I'm not calling you extreme or chaotic or like in a bad way, but the things you do are extreme. Maybe you have that pile of papers that is an organized mess. Maybe you have doom boxes all over your house of things that you just put in there, and you just pull your hand in there and you pick it out. And, you have this chaotic organization to your life. Or maybe because my fiance has this, people just recognize that you're extreme or interesting or unique. So my fiance gets called out by my dad all the time. Of course you're going to do that, matey, because you're just so extreme. Like you always love this unique stuff. So, so I'm a person who likes like stick in the mudness, let's details, let's be organized. And he's like this extreme. So the fact that I understand that he's the extreme and I'm in the stick in the mud, then yeah, it's really helped my relationships. All right, what we're going to move on to at this particular moment is 70% of what you put out into the world. So 70%. So 46.2, the prima donna. Love it. So where does that sit in your chart? The 46. It is in your G center right here, the prima donna. Pushing upward, good fortune that may be perceived as a result of serendipity but derives from effort and dedication. Oh, I bet that pisses you off. When people are like, oh, you're just lucky. And you're like, dude, I worked so hard on it. Ugh, I bet that pisses you off. A difficult and demanding nature that succeeds despite its behavior because of the depth of its talents. You are a natural. You have this, and you may not even be able to explain it, and that makes you uncomfortable. The determination to succeed that offends others. So let's see what the other, is this? Let's see what the other one has to say. So you're a 15 on so you're going to over-identify with being the prima donna. And the 15 is also in your G center. So right here, this is the gate of extremes that I was talking about, but it's talking about modesty, the quality of behavior which expresses a proper balance between extremes. So you must understand the correct behavior between extremes. So let's see what the 4 is. You are the wallflower. Modesty is a shield against exposure of inadequacy. The uncomfortableness of self when it is out of the flow. And when you're acting like not self, extremism that keeps the self out of flow. So you may resonate with those very deeply, but yeah, or you may not, but you do have consistent access to this, so you may resonate with this deeply. So you're a person who is ego manifested, and it's connected to the G center and to your throat. So like your incarnation cross or your 70%ness that you put out into the world, you may resonate with it or not. And it's this really strong, this vibe that you put out into the world. And I know yesterday you're like, what? This exists? Yeah. So you're a manifestor when you're awake, but you're a reflector when you sleep. I'm not going to be going into that. That's a 2.5-hour reading itself. This is what your body's doing, the role of self. So this is what your mind thinks it's doing. So your mind just identifies with being a projector, and your body identifies with being a manifestor. So imagine how confusing to your energy that could be. So what you need to do is you need to make sure you're speaking your will and following it, and then informing people that are involved in this experience, your network. And that is your experience.